Thanks, and I am honored to introduce to you our friend George Suter. He and his wife Janie, who are also blessed to have with us for the summit, are some of the most generous supporters that Susan B. Anthony List has. George follows pro-life politics with a passion, and he's known for his questions to all of us. Whenever he calls, the first thing he says to us, "All right, do you have your pen ready?" He is acutely aware and concerned about all aspects of the pro-life movement and all the races around the country, and he's also a pro-life activist. Whenever we get together with him, as we did just a few weeks ago, he opened up the trunk of his car, and in it was a lawn chair and a pro-life sign because he always wants to be ready for the next protest. But also, George has a soft side that he's going to tell you a little bit about tonight. He has been a cuddler in the neonatal unit of his hospital, and it has really affected him. George is always freshly horrified by abortion, and he is an inspiration to all of us. And so it's my honor to introduce George to you tonight to tell you a little bit about what he thinks about Susan B. Anthony List.
Jill, you're too much. Can you lower this far enough? Jill is always so nice. Whenever I get down because of something stupid that Planned Parenthood does, she says, "George, it's going to be okay." So the main reason why Janie and I contribute more to Susan B. Anthony than the other pro-life groups combined is a simple one. It's the fastest way to save the most babies. Between their ability to elect pro-life congresspeople and pass laws that are pro-life, that's the reason. They're the most powerful pro-life organization in the country by far, and now we get to Marjorie. No, she's so tenacious and determined and always pushing the envelope. I don't know how she does it. Walking up and down the halls in Congress talking to politicians, are you kidding? If I tried to do that, they'd call security, and I'd be out of town, and they'd just say, "Don't come back." I think the biggest thing accomplished in elections is Trump. I'm convinced that if they hadn't worked on Trump, Hillary would be president today, and I'd be applying for a visa, or what my son likes to say is, "We'll move near the wild." She's already stole my thunder about the Supreme Court, which if that were to happen, I never thought it would happen in my lifetime, that if we could actually overturn Roe v. Wade. Now, the pain-capable bill. It's the only way, I think, that we're going to eliminate third trimester abortions in this country. There are 5 cities where there's an abortionist that will do third trimester abortions. There's 162 clinics that will abort babies 20 weeks and over, 40 of which 24 weeks or over. Now I had some new notes here. In David Daleidon's new video, there's a woman, Mrs. Taylor, who's an abortionist, and she said she had to work out to keep her biceps in shape to do a D&E on a 24-week baby. So they keep talking about 24 weeks as being viability. Case in point, my brother-in-law's wife helped a lady with her triplets that were born at 23 weeks. Years later, there was a picture in a local paper with these 3 gals graduating from high school. Pain capable, probably the first time that pain was recognized during abortion. You younger people don't remember Dr. Bernard Nathanson. He and his partner did hundreds of abortions, including he aborted his mistress's baby. So and then in 1974, ultrasound. everything changed. They did a video of what happens during an abortion, and when this is a 12-week baby boy, 12 weeks. When the instrument entered his body, his mouth opened. So they called the video the silent scream. They both quit doing abortions, and Dr. Nathanson wrote a book called The Hand of God, in which he said he wanted to atone for all those abortions in what he called the abortion holocaust. Okay, now to the cuddler thing. So I had the opportunity, and I don't know really how I found out about it, to be a cuddler for preemies at the Fort Myers NIC unit. So to go from a NIC unit to progressive care where the cuddlers were, they only had to weigh 2 pounds, 12 ounces. So we held all these precious little babies. It was unbelievable. We had a great experience. But one of the things that we did was take their temperature under their arm. And this baby girl, I don't know, 3.5 pounds, was going to have none of this. And she struggled, and I mean, I couldn't believe how strong the little tiny arm was. And it occurred to me, how in the world can an abortionist do a D&E on a baby that's that strong? Now we get to donations. If you've already donated to the campaign, great. Thank you very much. If you haven't, please do so. And then talk to siblings and friends and neighbors and relatives, aunts and uncles, second cousins twice removed, and giving them an addressed envelope for Susan B. Anthony and say, hey, if you want to keep the Senate in the House, write a check and send it. Okay, I have several what I call feel-good stories to cheer everybody up. So there's this ministry couple that's in the Philippines. The wife becomes sick, she takes antibiotics, then she finds out she's pregnant. The doctor says, you have to have an abortion. She carries the baby to term, and it's Tim Tebow. There's a lady in Canada who's pregnant with her 14th child and says, that's it, I'm going to have an abortion. She talks to a priest, and he tells her, you have to carry this baby. She does, and her name is Darlene Ceylon. So there's a message in there. And there's this guy who really thinks he's a stud, and he's a great athlete, good at everything. His wife becomes pregnant, and the doctor says it's going to be a Down syndrome baby. He says, oh no, it's too embarrassing. My genes are perfect. We're not going to have a Down syndrome baby. Well, she refuses to have an abortion. The baby girl is born, and he's holding her, and she smiles up at him, as only a Down syndrome little girl can do. The guy is converted 180 degrees. She becomes the love of his life. He tattoos Down syndrome on his chest, puts a sign on front of the stroller when he goes to a race that says Down syndrome. Now, I was at a talk once by Abby Johnson, who wrote Unplanned, and there was a lady sitting next to me, and she tells me this story. A grandmother takes her 13-year-old granddaughter, who's pregnant, to an abortionist. She has an abortion, but she keeps getting bigger. They go back, and he says, guess what? You had twins. So, and also, you cannot abort. You have to carry this baby to term. So wouldn't you know that baby girl is the woman sitting next to me, who's now 26. And she says the biggest regret is that I never had the brother that I would have had. Two quotes, anonymous. In what universe does the death of a baby equal health to the mother? And another one of my favorites is by Cardinal Newman. Fear not that life will come to an end, but it never has a beginning. God bless you all.